Hello, you're listening to ReedyGeeks, a Walt Disney World podcast. My name is Andrew, and I'm joined here today by the PhilharMagic apologist, Sean.
No apology needed.
And Canada First, JJ.
Yeah, Canada first, Mexico second, and then UK. What could be better?
Today we have a mini episode about our top 5 preferred shows at Walt Disney World. Okay, so I'm going to start us off with my number 5 show, and that's going to be, I think, a strange one here. The Cavalcades, all of
I don't know
the
what
Cavalcades.
these are. I don't know what these are.
The thing that they started doing because of COVID, where just like the characters just show up and leave.
Yeah, the perfect thing that they did, the only good thing they did during COVID was these Cavalcades. So there are just 3 floats that will go down Main Street or go down one of the main avenues of the
because
park.
they weren't doing in-person meet and greets.
They're not announced. You don't know when it's going to happen. All of a sudden, boom, there's characters.
It's just chaos.
Yes, it's just chaos. There's kids running everywhere. Everyone loves it, and then they're gone. And that's it.
You know what? That is kind of magical. Okay.
I think that sounds terrible, to be honest with you.
And it doesn't, like, you're not bothered. Like, you can still cross, you don't have to wait there. You don't have to find some type of workaround to get to Tomorrowland from Frontierland. Like, you can just easily go across the park. And that's my number 5. JJ?
Okay, my number 5, I wish it could be whatever the nighttime show is in Epcot currently, Luminous now, but it would have been Harmonious. But instead, I'll give it to the only thing that's like a real theater show on my list, the Festival of the Lion King at Animal Kingdom. It's a good show. Really great vocalists, cool acrobats. It's a fun time. It's one of the only shows that actually gets a legit, like a line.
Yeah. And you could actually use a fast pass for or lightning lane for now.
Never saw the Lion King show.
Hey, if you got time to kill in Animal Kingdom, you could kill it a lot worse ways.
I think it's great. Yeah, especially with the monkeys back now too.
The last time I saw it was right before the pandemic started.
They didn't have like the acrobats.
Oh.
I think that's a great pick. I completely forgot about it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Sean, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is actually in Animal Kingdom as well. It's Finding Nemo.
And that I've never seen.
We loved Finding Nemo
that.
when we saw it. We needed something to do in Animal Kingdom, and the promise of air conditioning was good. But it was really fun. Good music. The way they carried around the props and the characters and everything was really fun. And it was just a good 30 minutes out of the sun, but a really cool music and performance aspect in a big theater that was just really cool.
I'm surprised that they've had that show for so long, and people like it. I've just never been over there at a time where I needed to kill some time. But I'm surprised they haven't put it on Nemo on Broadway, because they do that with almost all the other shows that they have.
Or on DCL on the cruise line.
Was Finding Nemo not on Broadway?
No.
I don't think so.
I thought it was. I actually thought Finding Nemo was very briefly on Broadway. I could be mistaking this.
I don't think there's been like a Disney Broadway failure.
Finding Nemo
that they would have.
Finding Nemo, The Big Blue Beyond. That is the Animal Kingdom show in Dinoland.
Yeah.
And I thought Finding Nemo was all right. I guess I'm wrong.
No, because it's funny. You can always tell what they were working on for Broadway. When I was living in LA, what was playing they had the Hyperion Theater.
Yeah.
In California Adventure, they had a Frozen show. They had a Aladdin show, and they all ended up being just condensed versions of the Broadway.
Frozen on Broadway was great. A COVID casualty, but a good show.
I've never seen a Disney show on Broadway.
Oh, you should see Lion King.
Yeah, I would love to see Lion King.
It's really good.
Yeah. Well, this is a bit off topic, but let's go on to number 4 here. My number 4, and I think this is going to be on another list, is PhilharMagic. So PhilharMagic is a great show, and you know what? I'm just gonna pause this. I'm gonna let Sean take over. Sean, why why should PhilharMagic be on a list?
Oh, it just should, not only should it be on the list, it should be a little bit higher up where it is on my list, but we can talk about it when it gets to the higher spot that I have it on.
That it deserves.
In a more deserving spot.
In a much more deserving role than number 4.
Yeah. Mine,
JJ.
I kind of feel bad about it being this low because of how much I love it and how much I love these characters, but Muppet Vision 3D.
We have the same 4. Number 4 right here.
It's so good, but I mean, just the whole essence of this being shows and it encompassing parades, nighttime shows, all that stuff. Like, it's number 4. Some of the things that I reference the most that are Disney park quotes are Muppet Vision 3D quotes.
Yeah. It is so quotable.
It's iconic quotes.
Yes, it's a glorious 3-hour finale.
You got a minute and a half.
Okay, so my number 3 is going to be a new one. I love the shows on Spaceship Earth that are projected onto Spaceship Earth, where it's the light show with the music.
Yes.
Okay, I was okay.
I wasn't thinking about that,
like-
but those are really cool. I've seen Rainbow Connection a couple. Yeah.
Yeah, and that
They do the Rainbow Connection.
On the ball, and it's like,
Cool.
yeah.
and they switch them all the time. Like they have a new one. Like it seems like every quarter they
Never
have a new
seen
one. And they're short. They're only about like 10 minutes.
When do
long.
they do these?
You might see one in October.
It's gotta be at night. They do them at night.
Oh,
The best-
I'm never sober enough.
no.
At night.
or at the entrance. Like the best place to see it is at the entrance of Epcot. So
Okay.
Yeah, stick around after the park closes. You just watch the Epcot ball while people are leaving.
yeah, it's great. So JJ number 3.
My number 3 might be controversial because I consider it a show. Is Carousel of Progress. John Progress is my homeboy forever, and hard pressed to find a better way to kill some time in Magic Kingdom, especially Tomorrowland. I would say,
And learn about the fine history of Progress.
and General Electrics.
And how dangerous it was back in the day with cables running everywhere, hanging from lights. And
Yeah, you can do a load of laundry in one day now. It used to take like 2 weeks.
It's not a controversial take because it's also my number 3. We have the same one
You
again.
have the same list.
Carousel, but no, ours actually. I'm looking at your list. Ours flips. So
wow. Okay. All right. Well, my number 2 is Happily Ever After. So I agreed with Sean here.
my
that,
number 2 as well. I am always going to be Team Wishes, but we're going current shows. I like Happily Ever After. It's good. The projections are fun. The music is what makes, I think, Happily Ever After.
Well, and I like that their projection mapping different than what was the newest one that they got rid of quick? What was it called? Enchantment or something like
I
that?
have no idea.
It just wasn't as strong. Like Happily Ever After is just every song worked so good. It wasn't overload. Enchantment.
I think it was Enchantment. Yeah.
They had projections going down Main Street, but then
You didn't notice
you were
it.
so far away.
Well, right, because you want to be as
went
close as possible.
to the castle.
You don't want to be back.
If you were all the way in the back, you couldn't see what was on the castle,
Yeah.
but you could see what was on Main Street.
Yeah.
My biggest problem with Enchantment 2 was that I felt like they used the projection mapping on the castle as though the castle was just a white screen, right? It was just like a board, and they were just putting things on there. While I think that Happily Ever After like tries to
Incorporate the castle.
Incorporate the actual shape of the
instead of
castle.
using
Like-
instead of using the castle as a projection wall, like you're in a classroom when you're playing.
Yes.
No, I get what you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like in Happily Ever After, I think of
They use the spires as rocket ships.
Yes, things like
Yeah,
that.
that's-
Or they use the balcony as a mouth,
Yeah.
and then it looks perfect, right?
Yeah, they almost used the projection to enhance the castle and maybe put different facades on the castle.
And it's a ton of fireworks too. I remember watching Wishes and then back to back with Happily Ever After.
We did that.
And,
that.
And Happily Ever After had more fireworks.
Did it? I feel like Happily Ever After had more projections, had better music. I feel like, well, because Wishes relied so heavily on fireworks because that's all it was. Wishes was a little bit of a light show with a good soundtrack, but it relied completely on the cues for the fireworks. But
Well, I could just be thinking like wishful thinking. That could be, what you notice.
wishful.
Wishful. So JJ, you're number 2.
My number 2 is the often hinted at, never duplicated best show, not the best show in the Magic Kingdom, to me.
To you,
Because
yeah.
I've got Happily Ever After a little higher than 2. I've got PhilharMagic in the 2 spot. I mean, we can't say enough good things about PhilharMagic. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of everything that checks the nostalgia box.
It's the best show on property. It's everything you want in a Disney park or world that is trying to get rid of all of its old stuff and bring in new. I don't think PhilharMagic's ever going to go anywhere. It's everybody loves the old Disney movies, the soundtracks, the music. The music is what makes the old Disney movies the best things that they were. It was always the songs, always the soundtracks. PhilharMagic is the best show in Walt Disney World, and it's not a bad way to spend 35 minutes in a nice air-conditioned room.
Now, what if they take it and they update it with current IP and like current movies?
I don't think that's a problem, but yeah, as long as you're not sacrificing, like, don't get rid of anything. Just make it Just make it longer.
They added a Coco scene.
I haven't seen it with Coco yet. I would be interested to.
It's great.
I haven't been to the Magic Kingdom since 2019, so I haven't seen it since then. But I mean, I love I'm thinking of the Lion King scene with the giraffe heads going up and down, and the Beauty and the Beast scene where the brooms are throwing the water buckets at you. It's the best.
Yeah, and it's got that like 4D type of thing, like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids type of thing, where
you smell the pies
and
everything. Yeah. It's perfect.
Everyone loves a smell-o-vision.
Yeah, or getting like a little wet, like
you get
mist.
a little mist, a little smell-o-vision. It's great. It is great. I still think Happily Ever After is better, though.
We're transitioning into
That's
JJ's
number
number
one.
one pick.
Yeah,
That's number one.
That's your number one.
I think that's where we're at, right? Everyone, we know where everyone else is. That's
no.
Wait.
We don't. Hold on. We don't know where he is. We don't know where he is.
Now, I think I'm kind of glad we did it like this because you're gonna be the grand finale here. What is your number one?
Oh, it's okay. I'll let you say it.
My number one show is the Skyliner. No, I'm just kidding. It's Fantasmic.
Really?
That's my number one. Yeah. And I will only do it where I get a dinner reservation and do the dinner party aspect. So you're right up front. I love the music, the projection on the mist of water, Sorcerer Mickey, shooting fireworks out of his hands and everything like that. And
they put some poor Ariel in a big black bag. I don't know if you know about this, but it was exposed on TikTok where the boat that has Ariel on the back, because the fireworks come so quick and she's a mermaid and she can't walk, she has her fish legs.
She's strapped in.
Yeah, they put a big protective bag over her.
Yeah. She and
wait.
Yeah, they just put her in a sack.
And her and Tinkerbell are the only cast members that get hazard pay. They both
the Tinkerbell that flies.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Magic Kingdom.
Hold on. Let's backtrack here. The Ariel in Fantasmic.
Yeah.
Can't evacuate the scene fast enough.
No, so all
correct.
the characters go inside the boat,
but she can't move fast.
She can't move. So
she just ducks
Eric,
for cover.
Yeah, Eric is his
Prince
job.
Eric puts a bag over her head.
I thought it was like a rug or a blanket.
No, it's like a fire blanket.
A fire blanket. Yeah.
I will definitely go see Fantasmic one more time to try
and
and catch
look for that. Yeah,
because I do not care for Fantasmic whatsoever. I saw it once and I was like, this is fine. I can't believe I waited till the second showing of this at 10:30 at night to come back to the park.
It's live action, and
it was
live action.
Fine.
I mean, there's lots of live action things that aren't entertaining whatsoever. You ever watch a soccer game?
Yeah. So that's our top 5 shows at Walt Disney World. If you agree with them or if you disagree with them, please let us know by emailing us at ReedyGeeks@gmail.com.
If you don't like Fantasmic, agree with me. If you like Fantasmic, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, you can also find us on social media. We're on all different social media channels as at ReedyGeeks. We actually do have a little bit of time left. Would you guys be interested in playing like a little 5-minute game?
Yes, let's
Always
do that.
interested in a game.
Okay, cool. Okay, and we're back, and we're ready to play a very original game that I invented. I'm calling it Ride, Preserve, Demolish. You may have played a similar game in the past with, like, I don't know, celebrities or something, but I'm going to use rides. I'm going to give you 3 rides, and you're going to have to pick if you want to ride that ride, preserve that ride, which means that you have that ride forever. It's just going to stay in A mode at how it is right now. And then the last one is Demolish, which is self-explanatory. The ride is gone.
This is, how does TikTok, because they can't say the F word on TikTok.
This is boink.
I think it's kiss, marry. I don't know if they can say the K word either. Kiss, for lack of a better.
Kiss, marry, or unalive.
Kiss, marry, yeah, something like that.
Yes, it's
You know what
similar
game
to
is.
like a
You know
kiss, marry, unalive situation. So
I don't know what this.
You
TikTok-
actually understand this, or
Yeah.
Well, okay, you know what we're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
No, but so TikTok has started to, like, you can't say certain words.
What's TikTok?
it's a mint candy.
All right,
Okay.
give us our first one.
Okay, guys, the first one you guys are gonna do, we're gonna do is Soarin', Flight of Passage, and Rock and Roller Coaster.
I am demolishing Rock and Roller Coaster in just the messiest, dirtiest way.
I love Rock and Roller Coaster, and I think that's the correct answer.
So we're going with Demolish first. We're talking Demolish
Yeah,
first.
well, I mean, yeah.
Well, yeah, you make
Okay,
make
so
it pick.
Demolish. I am
Don't do it.
demolishing Soren.
Oh, Jesus.
Everyone's
demolishing
mom's
Soarin'.
gonna be so upset with
Yeah.
you. You're just upsetting all the mothers.
I'm demolishing Soren, and the reason for that is I can ride that once a day, probably maybe twice. I could go on Rock and Roller Coaster and Flight of Passage, like just multiple times a day. I could just keep on going on them. I love them. If I had to pick,
Okay.
if I had to pick,
Your
because
opinion, your
Soren,
opinion is your own.
Soren is just a less good version of Flight of Passage.
I see the theory, yeah. That's
Sure,
kind of, yeah.
but-
But Soren is just good. You don't need 3D glasses. Like, anyone can go on it and, like, not worry about being dizzy or anything.
You gotta
Like,
tilt your head.
You're gonna eliminate the Patrick Warburton intro video.
one of
to
the
Soarin'?
best free ride videos.
Maybe, and this actually is maybe a good future. What are the best pre-ride
Oh yeah,
videos or introductions?
Yeah.
Patrick
Let's earmark
Warburton
that.
introducing Soren is a top 3, if
Yeah.
not top 2.
I'll go on YouTube and download it and keep it safe on my hard drive or something. You know, that's fine. I'm okay with
That's
that.
how everything wants to
Okay.
live, right? It's just
Okay.
on Andrew's hard drive. Okay. So then we've got ride and preserve left. I think I'm gonna go.
Now, can you explain the difference between these two again?
Okay, so preserve means that the ride is always going to exist, and it's always going to be that same ride, but it'll always be in A mode. It's not going to degrade, but it'll never change. It'll always be what it is. Now, ride means I'd like to go on that, and if it changes in 2 or 3 years, you'll have to deal with that then. But it's
Okay.
not. It's not.
Okay.
It's not as much of a commitment.
So I'll start us off here by saying that my ride is going to be Rock and Roller Coaster because I actually want it to change.
Fair.
I-
It's the track's 25 years old. It's almost at its end of life.
Yes, yeah, and I think we could. I mean, I love Aerosmith, right? But I think we could probably update.
No, you don't.
Well, no, you're right. Love is a strong word.
I love the
No,
pre-show
you're
video.
right. I love Lamp. No, I mean Aerosmith is great. You know, the pre-show of wait a minute.
Oh,
I love that idea. Right.
best
That's
part
great.
of the ride, maybe.
So but I think it could be updated, and I think the track could be updated definitely.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why I picked Demolish in the first place.
Right, because that's where I was like, if we're completely changing it to something,
I think I'm gonna
it's
do,
a demolish.
I think I'm going to do the unexpected thing, and I'm going to pick Ride Flight of Passage because
Yes. I feel
Flight
like
of Passage. I want it to stay high tech, so I don't mind if it gets upgraded down the
Yep.
line.
Like how they update-
incorporate like maybe the second or third movie or whatever. Incorporate something else with it, tell a different story, but keep the ride system. Like Like, you can change that, and I'm okay with it.
That's exactly how I feel about it, because it's almost like Star Tours, where they keep the ride the same, but they update it as the movies come out. I was going to say the exact same thing. As long as the ride vehicle is the same and it does the same thing, it's still a top 3, maybe top 2 ride at Disney World. Yeah. Whereas motioning into, I guess, Preserve, I could ride Soarin' Over California 1,000,000 times from here until my final day, and I will never get tired of it.
I'm going to tell you something.
It will never be something that I am bored with.
Both of the Sorens, I don't care which one it is that I preserve.
I think the newer one's a little too CGI-y.
Yeah, it doesn't bug me that much. The bendy Eiffel Tower doesn't bug me.
Plus, the California one has the classic Soarin' music that I love.
The music, that is the true edge.
Music is different?
It's a touch different in the newer one. Yeah, Soarin' Over California has the classic Soarin' soundtrack. It's campiness of the hidden Mickey on the golf ball that Michael Eisner hits.
Mike.
I've done Soarin' Over the World so many times, and just recently did, not for the first time, as we know, right? But I just recently did California, and I was like, hey, this is okay. Like, I'm going to be interested to see again how I feel when Soarin' Over the World comes back. But I thought afterwards, I thought it'd be blown away.
Next episode, we can introduce him as Bad Opinion Guy.
Yeah, he's gonna have to give himself a self opinion.
All right, so then our preserve. I'm preserving Flight of Passage. You guys kind of convinced me actually that maybe Flight would be nice for Flight of Passage to be updated, but unfortunately I'm too deep.
Well, why mess with a good thing?
I'm too deep in this. And yeah.
I get it.
Outfit it with some Vision Pros.
Oh my God.
Guys,
you just got me. Too bad. If we could start this whole thing over again.
The first ride that it's gonna actually cost you money to ride, because they're gonna have to pay for the technology to put Vision Pros on.
No, you just have to give them. It'll be like bail. You'll have to give them like $100, and then you can get that back.
Oh, it's like a deposit.
It's like a deposit. A deposit would have been a lot better than saying bail. It's a deposit.
You don't skip town with it. Yeah, the Disney company definitely thinks of their guests as
prisoners,
possible inmates.
For sure.
Just kidding, Bob. We love you.
So that would make your preserve, JJ.
Oh, well, me and Sean are in lockstep, preserving Soarin', riding Flight of Passage, Demolish, Rock and Roller Coaster. Let me put up another one that I think is going to be.
Not just demolishing, bombing. Rock and Roller Coaster.
I didn't say bomb. I'm going to do one that my lovely fiance suggested that I do, and it's 3 rides that are done like classic Disney rides, but are not themselves considered classic Disney rides. Winnie the Pooh, The Seas with Nemo and Friends, and The Little Mermaid Voyage.
God, I have opinions on this. I love the Winnie the Pooh ride. I think the Winnie the Pooh ride is such a fun. It's so simple and so short, and so someone our age rides it thinking nothing and comes off and is like, "Oh, that was so freaking good."
Did you ever go on Toad, Mr. Wild
As
Toad?
a kid, yeah, but I didn't appreciate it. But I also absolutely adore The Seas with Nemo and Friends. Yeah.
That's my Demolish.
No, you can't demolish it because it's one of the world's biggest aquariums.
All right. So Sean, let's go through each of ours first.
Yeah.
So Sean, go through all three.
I've never ridden the Little Mermaid, so I'm demolishing it. I don't know. We don't need more Little Mermaid. We don't need more Ariel.
You know what?
It's over. It's done.
You are right. It's a book report ride. It's the movie with animatronics that, quite frankly, could use an update now.
Yeah. Well,
I'm going to preserve Winnie the Pooh because it's perfect as it is. It's a perfect ride. And the other one is Ride. I think we can update the Finding Nemo. There's been other movies. There's going to be probably more movies. You're like aching to say something. I'm sorry that you hate this ride so much. I love the music in this ride, and I love the way they put the characters on the glass with the actual aquarium.
The only good thing about it.
The hilarious thing about it is that it has maybe the longest queue in Walt Disney World that is just never, there's never anybody in it. I have never spent more than the 10 minutes it takes to walk through the whole freaking thing to get in your clamshell of a ride vehicle. Go ahead, tear it down, destroy it. I'm done talking about it.
I showed my fiance's family this ride, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's like a cute little, dark ride, and it's cool because like you actually go through the aquarium in part of it, so it's like you get to see real fish too." And none of the animations, none of it worked.
Oh, okay, that's
it was like glitching and like it was.
I thought you were gonna say there were no fish.
It was
none of the fish were out that day. It was like going through Jurassic Park.
They all got eaten.
It was the worst. After I wrote it like that, I was like, "Oh no, maybe this ride isn't good."
Am I so out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong.
It's not good. They could do. Oh, I'm sorry. You continue. No, continue your rest. Continue your rest.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say that my preserve is Winnie the Pooh. My demolish is gonna be the Seas with Nemo, and my ride is gonna be Little Mermaid because if they put animatronics like the animatronics that were released for the Tiana's Bayou Adventure,
yeah,
then you could ride that Little Mermaid ride all day. It's beautiful. But
it's like they ran out of time at the end too. It just abruptly ends. So we have the same one. I'm going to blow up the Seas
and the aquarium itself.
And the aquarium. And like I'm just gonna I might just get rid of all of it. No, I want to keep the aquarium, but with Nemo, like it is first of all, Nemo deserves a much better ride, right? And
You're patronizing me, but I'll accept that.
Yeah. Nemo deserves a better ride, and you could I feel like you could do so much more. What if you went like through your car went through the
like they
the
did
water,
it, like those like water slides in the Bahamas go through like
the
fish tank.
Yes, and it's all around you. I feel like you could do so much more there, and they just cheaped out, and so I don't want to save Seas. But Winnie the Pooh, I would preserve. It's fine the way it is. It's good. Little Mermaid definitely needs updating, I feel like, and like you said, especially with the animatronics, and for me, I think the pace of it too at the end. But that's mine. My group.
Okay, let's see if we can squeeze one more in before we get going for the day. The rides in the World Showcase. We've got Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, Frozen Ride, and the Three Caballeros Riverboat.
I have not yet ridden Remy.
Okay.
But I would, again, bomb the Frozen Ride.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. I hate that ride so much.
Maelstrom's track.
There's a lot of justice for Maelstrom behind my feelings, but I just think it's a bad ride. I think they forced it in there. They didn't really do anything fun or good with it. They just put the music in there. They put the faces on the characters that everyone thought was so fun and cool.
And now it looks dated.
Bad ride. The Three Caballeros ride, I would, whatever the option is to update it.
Ride.
I would ride it because they're gonna update it. But I would update it with something Coco. But you can still keep that theme with Donald Duck, and how Donald Duck plays a role in Filler Magic. You can kind of keep him. You can whirl him into another IP. And I've never ridden Remy, but I would probably just preserve that because it's probably a great dark ride it's the trackless ride, right? So
that has a lot of room to breathe, right? It could survive for a couple more decades, and maybe it wouldn't be as great as it is now, but it would still be good enough. And so I would preserve that as well.
I feel like it's been so long since I rode the Three Caballeros that I would actually like to ride it again the next time we go.
Maybe in October.
Yeah, maybe in October. So the Three Caballeros, my problem with it is that it's a travel brochure, right? It's just and that's what it was supposed to be, and that's fine. But if I'm preserving Remy, I think I'm going to blow up the Three Caballeros. We could do something different there, or just not have it at all, just have nothing there. And I'm going to ride and change Frozen.
Back to Maelstrom? Change it back to Maelstrom.
Change it back to Maelstrom. Well, I think you're right, though. Like, they could do more at least make
the
that.
Frozen ride, and everything they did with Norway was a knee-jerk reaction to the popularity of Frozen.
And they had nowhere to put it.
It's all terrible.
Well, at least.
And I'm actually going to say something that I believe you guys were hinting at, and that is other Disney parks are getting Arendelle. Disney World is not going to get Arendelle as long as the Frozen ride is in Norway.
Yeah.
So was Disney better off just doing Arendelle?
Well,
and
yes,
waiting?
but
yes,
but they would have had to wait, a decade. I think it could be updated and be made better. I would love for the boat to almost go out of the window again. Remember that from Maelstrom? That would be really cool.
Back over the fall.
Yeah.
Disappear! Back over the fall!
That was just a fun. That was a fun ride, even though no one really was going on it at the end.
I'm in lockstep with you, and maybe I've convinced myself that Arendelle needs to go beyond Thunder Mountain, and you change Frozen back to Maelstrom.
Yes.
Like an updated Maelstrom.
Yeah.
The Maelstrom was supposed to be.
2.0.
Maelstrom was supposed to be like a really scary
thrill
ride. A thrill ride.
Yeah, and it wasn't. It
No.
for sure wasn't.
No.
Especially when you come off of it, you can choose to sit through like a 25-minute video of like the history of Norway.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, that's funny. Where are we at?
I think that's it, man.
Yeah?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Are you saying boo or boo-earns? I was saying boo-earns.
This week's Honest Send-Off came courtesy of Mr. Burns from Springfield, USA. If you have an honest send-off that you want played at the end of one of our episodes, please submit an audio clip to us via our email address, ReedyGeeks@gmail.com. Reedy Geeks, a Walt Disney World podcast, is hosted and executive produced by Andrew Shopey, Sean Murphy, and JJ Hefner. Music and audio engineering by JJ Hefner.
Bon voyage!